Welcome back everyone to Skirmishing 102, where today we are running Breaching the Necromancer's Gate. This time we are running it at the Full Fellowship setting. And this is going to be particularly tough. Well, not a single hardy mob here. But the lieutenants are going to be probably going to be tougher than they were in the previous ones. And I find that when trying to run a Full Fellowship version of a skirmish, it's going to be the lieutenants that are going to make or break how it goes. We'll see if that's true or not. But there's some lieutenants that are going to be very, very tough on a single player because they were obviously designed for 6. And even some of the regular ones, they are going to be acting in such ways that will be very, very tough for a single one. Like, for example, the Venomous Blood Arrow, who's going to be spamming those nasty countdowns on them, and being able to keep track of all of them is going to be pretty unlikely, especially when you have things like elite black hands throwing all these debuffs on you. So trying to remove the effects put on by the Venomous Blood Arrow will be tough. Now, I haven't seen any lieutenants yet. Okay, is that a Chaos Fiend or is that a Chaos Fiend? Alright. Then you have the Chaos Fiend, which is tough. Well, the Chaos Fiend has tough ones, but the ones they tend to be very, very deadly debuffs, so you do have to get rid of them quickly, but at least they're not being spammed on you. Actually, I think I should make some new food. That's what I should do, because yeah, I'm pretty low on that department at the moment. Now, how about it? What happens if I grab this guy? Okay, I don't get the chaos. Oh, he's a hail. All right. Well, that's gonna be an easy one to take care of. We can handle hails, and we've handled hardies before. It's when we start to get the staunch mobs that things are going to be particularly tough. Let's see, staunch mobs are... I'm trying to think if you get staunch mobs in Breaching the Necromancer's Gate at this setting or not. You actually might not get them. You might only get up to strong ones. Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately I could not pull that alone. Now, the lieutenants, though, they are going to be... Well, I can't tell at the moment because he's in my way. I think he's a nemesis. It doesn't help that I've got the other nasties in the area also. No! No, 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 no! Okay, so he's an elite. Yeah, this is... Yeah. Oh, no. No, don't lag out on me, right? Yeah, that's the problem is I can't do damage and keep him in check at the same time. That's why you really need multiples in the area. Okay, good. Got him. Okay, now I need to heal up. I guess I have to ignore the... Oh, what is this? That one? Exhaustion? Increases power cost of all skills. Really? I wonder if he's always done that, or if they added that with the changes in power. It probably's always been there, but no one ever really noticed it before because how insignificant power was for a long time. Alright, let's go on here. I think a Chaos Fiend by himself probably isn't too bad. It was when he was with the others that things were really, really tough. And the server is Not in a good mood today. Not in a good mood at all. Mortal terror, that's what I would expect. No, this is not working out at all. Alright, well, we'll have to see whether or not we can get through all of this. Now, the tricky bit is that during the counterattacks is where things are going to really be tough. Plus 50% power cost for 15 seconds. Right. Now, let's get forced march back on. And let's get over here before that Drake does anything. Or not Drake, that's actually a fell beast, but close enough. Now I gotta fight all those people, including their lieutenant if there is one. There isn't one. I certainly don't want to have to fight the Defiler away from the rest of them. I think I could probably get all the normal mobs in the area, assuming I don't get killed by lag. I think this is the worst lag I've encountered in a skirmish in a long time. And yes, I know that's saying a lot, but usually it's one long stutter rather than constant stuttering in there. Alright, well, I don't know whether it's because of the way I'm running this, but I would think that with only one player in here, it should not be, that shouldn't be the reason. Is that a Pale Trapper? Yeah, that's a Pale Trapper. Well, I can handle the Pale Trapper. It's going to be the very annoying thing when it puts out the root that things are going to be real problematic. That's the most likely one that will give me real headaches would be anything with a range on it. That would be such as the Venomous Blood Arrow. That plus Venomous Blood Arrows on effects are going to be very hard to keep track with. Now the encounter mobs. I suspect that the best thing to do with the encounter mobs, especially the one that is in the path, is maybe skip any that are going to be in my path of travel if I had to return after defeat or something like that. If I had one that would be guaranteed I could not avoid if I had to respawn at the beginning and come back, then I really don't want to summon that encounter mob. I don't think this skirmish really has any of those, but certainly in a different skirmish it would be a very important thing to keep track of in deciding whether or not to. Like for example, in Breaching the Necromancer, not Breaching Necromancer, in the Battle in the Tower, there is a brigand that you can encounter. Now, you can easily avoid the brigand by not going down to him in the first place. You know, so as long as you don't get killed. The problem is if you get killed and have to restart, there's absolutely no way to avoid him because he is right in your path that you must take in order to get up there. So the worst thing that could happen is that you go and face him and he kills you. Because now you're stuck unless you're able to eventually defeat him. Now I don't think he's that tough of an encounter. But when you're dealing with a Nemesis level mob, yeah, tough is a relative term. Alright, let's see. I'm disoriented. Alright, let's get up the stairs. We've cleared out everybody. Well, everybody that's downstairs at least. You can come up here. And now it's your turn. Hello? See, what are you? Oh, that's an elite. All right, let's take care of the one who's only a signature first. There we go, one at a time in there. So yes, I think that on the most part there isn't too much trouble with the trash mobs. Now we may have trouble with those ghost summoners. We haven't run into any of those yet. Which reminds me, I really should be putting up a hope token just in case I do. Let's see, let's put up actually before I do that. Alright, just wanting to make sure that I didn't have one that was already up. Alright, there we go. That'll help up a little bit. That's just a little bit of a poison. Not too much, easily cleared away. Certainly as less trouble as we had in some other things. The Daywalk Berserker. Well, that's gonna be fun. Oh, alright, the lieutenants are only elite masters. I know, only elite masters. Let's see, how am I gonna handle this? I think all I have to do is just do my defensive gambits. And I should be fine. Well, alright. And just making sure I don't use up a huge amount of power doing this. Alright. Oh, okay. Let's try to make sure that Flax doesn't take a huge amount of damage from this, because I can see that Daywalk Berserker has a frontal AoE, and Flax was getting hurt quite a bit by that. I guess the stun was going to be inevitable. There we go. Now, let's drain this thing down. I think I'm... Alright, against a single lieutenant, as I said, most lieutenants you could probably get by on a single lieutenant. I still think that the Ben's Blood Arrow will be the toughest one, because the only defense I can think of is to constantly interrupt them. And if you're constantly interrupting them, you're not constantly damaging them, unless you've got an interrupt that also does good damage at the same time. I don't think the boot is all that great for damage-wise. Let's see, what is the boot? 118,000? Wow. Let's say, for example, power attack is... Actually... My problem is I'm instinctively hitting it off immediately. Actually, the boot does pretty good damage. It's only single target, but... Yeah, I should go through that at some point. I guess I assumed that because it was a 2-point gambit that it didn't do that much damage. I really should go through the gambits at some point and see how much damage each of them does and my choices on the matter. But now, let's head on. But now, a Daywalker Berserker, when you've got lots of other people in the area, is of course an entirely different matter. Now, I can at least work on the others while I've got the Daywalker on my head. But probably better a Daywalker than a Oh, that's right. Flax! Now, who's the mob that has the lethal poison on me? Okay, I better bring up my power also. Because all this healing is draining me from power constantly. Okay, now it looks like I've got a good handle of what's going on in here. And I'm using the masteries, which means I'm not using my gambit builders much. The gambit builders are probably one of my sources of damage. The gambit builders don't do too much damage though. Like a tenth of a boot. Maybe is slightly more. Alright. Now, let's get rid of this guy. Now it's your turn. Now I can concentrate on you. And I just took care of another one of them. Oh, advanced techniques number... I got a triple advanced techniques up there. Now let's see if I can actually remember how to use one of these things. Way of the Spear, I could do... plus 24 gambit initial hit damage. Okay. Yeah, oh! Am I coming low enough that Flax has to remind me not to succumb to the troubles of evil? I should remember that, of course. I'm so used to not having to worry about the advanced techniques because the opponents were never lasting long enough for it to be relevant. That as long as the fights are taking against the Daywalker... Well, I guess we get the answer on whether or not the Daywalker, after enough time, does he ever put that shield back up. It seems unlike... Oh, yes! We are going to have a bit of a challenge in the next area. And that is because we are going to run into the double wave. And I'm trying to think how long it is between... Is there... I think there might be a 3-minute timer on that. It means if you don't get rid of the first wave in 3 minutes, then the second wave comes along. I think I found Ghost Summoner. Okay, what's the dread level on this one? Plus 4 dread, alright. It seems to be the same. But I'm not going to worry about the ghosties at the moment. I should worry about the summoner though. Okay, she's an elite. Maybe I should worry about it. She's bringing them up all over the place. Well, at least okay, yeah, go underground. That gives me a couple things I don't have to worry about. Aha, got you on that one. Alright. I think my trouble is I am, or at least from finding out how much damage each my gambits are doing, is that every time the gambit comes up, I'm instinctively hitting it before I have a chance to read the damage value on it. Well, I can go over that after the show, maybe. There we go. Oh, boy. Oh, that was rough. Now, your turn. Hi. Well, after that little scenario, just a single signature is nothing. Shepherd of Build. Oh. Well, at least we got him alone. Alright, we'll have to be careful in here. We are going to have to worry about the whole thing about summoning. no, 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 no. Okay, what I was worried about was the fact that he might be doing the possibility that he would summon while I was rooted. Alright, good. Alright, my favorite gambit to use against them, or I should say my new favorite gambit to use against them, is work against. Yes, I know, I keep on forgetting the name. Resounding Challenge, that's the name. Alright. So, being able to bring up Resounding Challenge and getting that to work seems to be fine. I just have to make sure I get the timing right. So I am going to keep the masteries to a minimum so that I do not use up Resounding Challenge. So I could bring it up quickly as through the masteries. So, and I figure if I could do it that way, then I won't have any trouble. Because one of my biggest headaches I can have is the fact that Resounding Challenge takes a bit of time to set up. I have it so I can very easily do it on the masteries. But okay, good. But doing it in any other way, doing it manually, is going to be a lot tougher, and switching to that. Alright, yeah. Ah. Yeah, they're just gonna spam those things, so I just might as well just bleed them dry. Especially when you got two of them where you really can't keep up with them. Well, okay, maybe you can keep up with them. I can't keep up with them. Let's just say that way. That's probably the more accurate term anyway. Alright. Now, looks like they ran out of ghost friends. Now, and you're gone. Alright, good. Now, where were we? We have... Now this is going to be a tough counterattack that we're going to have here, because we're going to have to face, as I said, I think that there is going to be a second group that's going to be coming along. We can at least stop the heals from this one. I keep on forgetting that the gatekeepers have a heal. It's not like it's either a defiler or a captain or anything like that, which you expect those to have heals. So they call it a gatekeeper. Is this right? Where's the gatekeeper got? Why does the gatekeeper have heals? I have no idea. Maybe bolstering the morale of the people who are trying to defend the gate. I guess that makes some sort of sense. Alright, now, let's go and take this. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to pull the mobs away from wherever they arrive. And by that... Oh, wonderful. And that way, if a second wave does come in, they're not going to notice us. And obviously the Troll Wound Taker is going to have the priority here. Now, it is going to take a little time in order to work this down, but I figure that if the Wound Taker does heal the friends there, it's taking away from his time on hurting me. So there is one advantage of him doing that. Alright. Now I'll just see how much damage I can get onto these things. I'm about to hit Advanced Techniques 3 here, so I can use that along. There we go. That should do a little bit of extra there. And I think I can do this, right? No, yeah, I completely got that gambit attempt off. Alright, there we go. Now, you're down. Actually, let's give me this defiler. Maybe this one doesn't have a timer on it? Well, that would be good news if that's the case. Somebody killed the axe. Hey, that's rude. Oh. I know, it's not like their soldier does all that much. I am going to do some runs without a soldier after I hit a brick wall on this. It looks like that I haven't hit a brick wall for this particular skirmish at the full fellowship level, at least with this. Now, we haven't tried the boss yet, of course. And we haven't done the red line yet and see how that works, but based on some of the stuff that's said here, I have a feeling the red line is going to be much tougher because I'm going to be closer to a glass cannon in that case. Yeah, I'm way off time on taking care of the gatekeeper on that one. There we go. Now, that is, I think, pretty much done for that particular set. Now we do have another double counterattack later on. Alright, Snarl Echoes from the 4th Ward. Alright, we can handle that. Well, if we fail to handle it, then the encounter mob is at least way out of the way. Alright, so I think what I should do is I will take care of the counterattack first. Well, of course, obviously, first I'm going to take care of the mobs here. Once I take care of the local mobs, I'm going to take care of the counterattacks. Then, if I don't completely forget the encounter, which this is the same encounter that I forgot in one of my run-throughs that I had to come all the way back in order to do. But because it's out of the way, then if it does kill me, then I won't have to worry about anything in particular. Priestess of Flame. Anything to help with my mitigations in here? Okay, not the best scrolls to have. But they're already obsolete, so I really should be getting them out of my inventory. Alright, so there we have there. Let's go after the priestess. I have a feeling we're going to be fighting everybody, and we got a black hand over there. This is not going to be an easy one. Alright, let's... well, at least it's not as bad as some of the puddles I've been experiencing recently. And it may be that's not going to be too bad simply because all she does really is a puddle. And having been doing Return to Cardoon recently, which is Puddle City, I mean, it can't be worse than that. That's all I gotta say about that. And the fact that I've got a hope token up, I don't have to worry about these zillions of ghosts that are up here. I'm just tapping them for morale. that's sort of like one of the things about these things is that they're less of a problem. Because with the hope token, the ghosts don't have their dread that they're putting on you, or at least I should say it's being counteracted. So since, in fact, I got a net positive in the hope department as a result of the hope token. So because of that, I don't really have to worry too much about the ghosts. So the summoners aren't as bad as they were during that time when I was doing the solo. I think it was the duo version when I had all those ghosts come out all at the same time and they were just slowing me down. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I was hoping to get rid of the Mortal Terror because that's the worst of them in there. Ah, good. It's those spears that could be a real pain because my mitigations are really, really bad on this character. But yes, now tight quarters where you don't have much maneuver spots, the Priestess of Flame I suspect would be very deadly. I haven't had a chance to look at how much damage does this thing do. Oh, well, it disappeared. Oh yes. That was, oh no, I was about to say, right, that means we're not anywhere near done because we still have the counterattack to do. This is a single counterattack, so there won't be any trouble on that. Echo of Death. Well, that's gonna be a problem. No, 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 I don't want the Echo of Death next to me. An Echo of Death next to me would be the worst thing to have. Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do my AoEs and tap them off. Okay, I was thinking, okay, Flack's still alive? Okay, fine. I know I had to resummon her. No, 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 don't attack the Echo of Death. Alright. Got you down and... Alright, let's get rid of her first. These things what it... Okay, now... I was prepared for it that time. I forget that they have those sorcerer type summonses when their friends die, which can be a real bit of a pain. And right now it's just a matter of getting these now. Okay, the Echo. I'm surprised that I have not been, because I've been ripped apart by Echoes of Death in solo runs where they would just hit me from a distance and I would just be ripped to pieces by them, even though I didn't have the Death's Echo on me and they were just destroying. Their tactical damage was alone enough to kill me. So I'm surprised that I was managing to weather that, considering how bad my mitts are. There we go. Now we're bringing them down piece by piece, not having to worry about Death's Echo. How bad is Death's Echo in this level? You know, it's still +1. They don't increase it or anything like that. Sometimes you get things like that where in the full fellowship level they make the effect worse. Of course, you've got more mobs pounding on you at the same time if you go after, if you're dealing with that situation. But I guess you got 20 mobs pounding on you. I guess a plus 100% damage is going to be worse. There we go. Now, we're through you. Now, we can go back. And I am going through a lot of food on this. Now, let's see if we could do this, guy. Now, this is a Nemesis level, so I got a solo Nemesis level. If I have to go back from the beginning, I'm just gonna skip by this one. This is gonna see whether or not I can handle one of these, and how long it takes me to do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good timing to make a mistake. A bit serendipitous there, because what happened there is that I forgot that foot thing only meant that, so while the Goblin Warg Rider has high morale, so it's just a thing telling about its high morale and the like. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. So he was just talking about its high morale. So it wasn't the corruption in there, but I had started my anti-corruption thing thinking it was a corruption, and then the corruption came up just as I had finished the building up the gambit for it. I mean, what could be better timing than that? There you go. No, no, ah. Now, of course, stunning me just before it does its induction is always rude. But then it's a Goblin Warg Rider, right? So what do you expect? Yeah, so we got advanced techniques in there. Oh, okay. Advanced techniques has a very short. I mean, the ones that use advanced techniques have very short cooldown, but considering how long it takes to build up your advanced technique levels, I suppose that's reasonable since there's already another factor going into that. Well, I seem to be working on this all right. So it's not impossible, that's for sure. Tedious. There's already a very, very long episode in here. Well, this is what happens when you're trying to get a blue line character to work on this. I'm going to skip the other encounter simply because time. This is already a 40-minute episode. I certainly don't need to make it any longer. But we still have, but at least it did show that, yes, I can take down one of the encounter mobs. So now we head on through here, take out the Sorcerer's Ascent, then we've got a double counterattack, so 2 chances for things to go completely south. Hold on. Oh, that's the Rage of Morgoth, isn't it? I was wondering, what lieutenant what mob could that possibly be? Let's go, Rage of Morgoth. Right? Or something like that. Yeah, yes, Rage of Morgoth is his name. Well, that could be. Actually, probably isn't as bad as some of the other, because the alternative would have been the Courage Breaker could have been maybe a worse one to run into in this. Alright, now, did one of the mobs here kill Flax, or did... Oh, that's right. Rage of Morgoth, this shtick is the bubble it had on it. Alright, so, well, with the bubble down, I should be able to damage it now. And no, it's not a literal bubble since you don't see one around them, but it uses its power pool as an extra morale pool. So maybe it's nice to have a... No, you're not going under there. This is a long enough episode as it is. I don't feel like waiting for you to come back up. Now, if I were low in morale, then I probably would have welcomed such an occasion. And maybe once its power goes down the first time, the defensive aspects of it go away or something like this, because I don't see a buff on that anymore. But I do see my morale going down. Alright, hey Flax, you okay? Now, where were we? We are, alright, back up to here. And now it's your turn. And we can deal with you. Okay, so we got the Stronghold or Gate Cat. Could you imagine trying to solo the group version of Doom of Karis Galibran? The 6-player version of Doom of Karis Galibran, trying to solo that? No, I am not going to attempt to do that. I have enough trouble with doing that with 3. Well, on the 3 version, I think I tried to do that, and if I remember correctly, that failed quite miserably on there. Alright. Alright, there we go now. Alright, what lieutenant do we've got this time? Crazed Hatemonger. Well, that's not going to make much of a difference. They're all pounding on poor Flax. No, okay, their AoEs are going to kill her. Alright, so... Oh, do they have a 360 AoE or something? I guess that would be a bit of a surprise. Oh, probably... Oh, we do have an aura up here, probably. No, I don't see an aura, really. Yeah. No... I just say, what did they do to? Because if I had all their attention, and the Crazed Hatemonger had not yet gone into let's attack anyone I feel like at the moment mode. Right now it's going after highest DPS, and I can tell you for sure Flax didn't have the highest DPS. Oh. Okay, fine. Fine. I'm still trying to get go from the mode where get into the mode where what used to be my best interrupts are no longer interrupts. So sometimes I still instinctively try to interrupt using Wall of Steel, for example. Wall of Steel does not interrupt anymore. And the boot used to be unreliable as an interrupt. It used to fail quite a bit. Now it's my most reliable interrupt. So, so going from one mode to the other has been quite an adjustment. Okay, here we go. Now going after random, it looks like. Right? Is that the one that's random, or is that the one that's going after? I think that's. I'm going after random people symbol on his head. It looks late enough in there. Well, it looks like. It looks like there's no timer on this one. Because if there were a timer on that one, we definitely would have gotten a second counterattack for that. But it waited until I was done with everyone. What is that? Is that a shepherd or is that a... Yeah, it's a shepherd. Okay, so that's going to be tricky. Who's the best one for me to pick off here? Let's start out against the Rage Mistress. Let's see if I can do this right. I got to avoid... Okay. It's hard to concentrate on what I'm going to do against the shepherd here. Because I have to make sure I'm not caught at a bad time when he does the summonings. It's a lot tougher on this one. I knew I had to do a lot of AoEs. If we got to do AoEs, then there's no way to avoid damaging the shepherd, and no way to and once you start damaging him a certain amount, he is going to start doing his summoning chain. If you have single target stuff, you could avoid doing that, but of course against this many mobs at the same time, I had to spend a potion on that one simply because of the timing of everything. I wouldn't have been able to get my Gambus out in time due to how everything worked there. It doesn't help that we got the healers and stuff like that, but I've got to... If I were adept at changing targets and all that stuff, I might be able to do something. But I'm not. I gotta work with what I got. And I think this might be the last round. Alright, good. Just in time. Okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore, so now I could concentrate on keeping myself alive and knocking these guys down. Obviously, I mean, if they're just hails, then it's not going to be too much of a problem. I mean, I face those all the time. And that just leaves the boss. Yeah, I am skipping the encounter. We're already at 50 minutes, so yeah, no way I'm going to... oh, you're an elite. Alright. So the last one's an elite. Not something that I run into constantly. Okay, now with this one done... Alright, let's get through here. Now all we have to worry about is the boss. Bye-bye. Now, Let's see. Now, his problem is I think he likes to punt you sometimes, and that punt can cause you damage. So that's the thing I need to worry about. Is see if I can bring him back here. Hey, you. Alright. So that if he does punt me, he at least punt me into the wall. What do all these things do? Okay. Well, we have this. And oh, that was a corruption? Okay. Okay, so he has a corruption on him. I had forgotten about that corruption. Probably because I was usually so busy doing other stuff that I keep on forgetting about it. That could explain some of the challenges I've had with this boss in the higher player counts before. Yeah, I know about his tendency of knocking you away, and about the tendency that if you leave his area, he does extra damage. Oh, there's a punt right there. I wasn't very effective in blocking it. I think usually, though, the idea is to bring him to the gate if possible, which I don't know why I haven't thought of doing that yet. But right now I'm so busy trying to get rid of the corruptions. It looks like the corruption is 10% extra damage. Suppose I could look at that the next time it comes up. Yeah, 10% 10% damage. Actually, hold on. Did I read that? I should read that a little bit more carefully. Resistance corruption on completion of the countdown. The Olokai will use. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. So it's something that he does to you if the corruption countdown happens. All right. Yeah, that is something I completely forgot about. Good thing I noticed it there. All right. Oh yes, you see. I will kill all who approach the gate. Are you sure about that? So you get a 15. So he puts a 15-second. Wait. Debuff on you that causes you to take more damage if you let that timer go out. Okay. It looks like he's down anyway, so it is done. Well, that felt like it took forever. And let's pick this up. Take the chest. We are done. Alright, I guess the question is, what are the odds that I can get through this in red? I mean, obviously I'll be able to do damage to them, but I'm not too sure I'll be able to survive all those mobs bouncing on me constantly, because I think I had to pull in what defenses I have in order to do this. I guess we'll have to find that out in the episode, but yes, that is full fellowship run of breaching the Necromancer's gate with a blue line warden, and it was a slog. And how would I do in red line? Well, I think it'll be a shorter episode. Not by finishing the thing, but about the point where I give up. We'll find out if that's true in the next episode of Skirmishing 103. And maybe someday I'll remember the name of the show. Skirmishing 102.